Hello everyone. Welcome to Judy's Creations in Crochet. And today is April the 1st, 2023. No April Fool's joke here. This is the day you've all been waiting for. And first, I'm going to show you my makes for the month, and then I will show you all of the makes that you have made and sent in to me. 20 people sent in pictures, and several sent in more than one picture, so that's great. And then, of course, I know you're all just waiting on the edge of your seat for the picture for April. So let's get moving. We're going to start with the yarn that I showed you. First of all, I'm going to put a picture here in the corner to remind you of the March flowers, which were daffodils. And now, the first item I made is back here. It is a asymmetrical triangular scarf. It has, the very narrow beginning, and it worked down and around to here, and it got wider out here, way out. And this might be similar to mosaic, but I don't know that it's true mosaic. So I'm going to keep working at the mosaic. But that is the one that had the three small minis of yellow, green, and orange. And then I had a larger ball of white. And so that is one finished object for April. And I also had a ball of variegated orange, or Hank, skein, whatever. And here is my second make. And this did not turn out the way it was supposed to because I wasn't paying attention. And it is a C.J. Brady pattern called Meraki, M-E-R-A-K-I. And it is made up of double crochets, but there were chains between all of the double crochets in the clusters. And I didn't pay attention, didn't do it. And when I got partway up here, I said, I'm not tearing it all out. I'm going to keep going with this pattern. I made my own new pattern. And instead of getting wider and narrower as the pattern was meant to be, I just kept going and made it as wide as I could for the length of yarn that I had. So, and I really like the pattern, makes a nice scalloped edge on both sides. So I will remake the pattern at some point and do it properly because I did like the pattern, and I think it would be nice if I had made it properly. So those are the two items that I made for March. Now, anyway, we're going to start with the first of our 20 people. By the way, I will not be linking any of the shawls, but if I know a person has a YouTube channel, I may try to remember to put the name of their YouTube channel down below. So, our first one comes in from a new viewer, and that is Edie, who is in Buffalo, New York. And she did the Easy Crochet Shawl. And this is a pattern by Maisie and Ruth. She used some Yarn Bee alpaca. I won't be telling the yarn usually. Next, we have quite a few from Anvita, who is in India. Now, I wasn't able to show all of hers, but here are quite a few of them. The first one, and by the way, I think all of Anvita's are knitted projects. The first is the Falling Leaves wrap. And the Falling Leaves wrap is by Rebecca Buzino. I'm not sure if I'm saying that name right, but that's a lovely wrap she has sent. Next, she has a pattern called At the Game, and this was a test knit she did for Nicole Montgomery. And then we have Glam Shells. That's the name of this next pattern. And it's by Marissa Hernandez. And the next shawl, I guess it is called Japanese Waves. And it is by A Passion for Lace. You might want to call it a wrap. I'm not sure. But anyway. And this is followed by Bamboo Wedding Shawl. And this shawl is by Pearl Soho Yarn. They have a yarn company, but because I've seen them. In fact, I may have some. But they also design patterns. So that's a Bamboo Wedding Shawl. Then we get the Leafy Shawl. Hope I'm not duplicating any of these. Leafy Shawl. And this is by Nicole Green. And then we have an Infinity Cowl. And this is by Joji Locatelli. Locatelli rings a bell with me. She must have quite a few designs out there, or maybe she has a YouTube channel. I'm not sure. Anyway, the next one is called One and Done, and this is a pattern by Casa Pinka. So thank you, Invita, for all those patterns. Sorry I couldn't show everything that you sent me. And then we have Sigal, who is from Israel, although she did live in Canada for quite a little while in Montreal. She's now currently in Israel. And she made the Fika Cowl. I have talked about this pattern before. It's by CJ Brady. And it has a very unique start. It doesn't have a starting chain like most. And then we move on to Lillian, who also is in Ontario, and she's fairly new as well. And she has made the brown butter shawl. Yeah, brown butter shawl. I think I started to make it once. It's by Tamara Kelly, who is Moogly she has a blog and a YouTube channel under the name Moogly. Then we're moving on to the first of my barbs, and this Barb M, is from Calgary, Alberta, and she has done the Gratitude Cowl. I think my messy writing says Gratitude Cowl, and that is by Button Nose Crochet. And she has also done a Granny Boho Bag, and that's by Joanne Steinhilber. Oh, I don't imagine I'm saying that one right, but thank you, Barb, for those two. And then we have, this is the Brinley hair scarf. She sent me several pictures, but I'm just showing it tied up. And this pattern, the hair scarf, is by Ashley Edmonds. So moving on, we now come to a shawl by Adam. Adam is in the UK, and this was pretty much his own creation. Good for you, Adam. I love seeing what people do or how they alter patterns, do their own thing. Next, we have Rebecca, who is from Mississippi. And she has done the Japanese knot purse. Now, they've become kind of popular lately, probably because Crystal at Bag O' Day has a pattern for a Japanese knot purse, and that's when everybody learned what they were. Rebecca says, though, that although she used Crystal's pattern, she did do a different stitch in it. She showed me a couple pictures, but the other picture I want to show you is her lining. She lined this purse with butterflies, and I thought they were pretty, so I wanted to show you with the lining. Next, we have a shawl from Rosanna. Rosanna is in Ontario, and she has a channel called Crochet with Nona Rosanna. And the shawl is a pattern by Carrie Penny. And Carrie Penny has a channel under the name The Happy Homemaker, I believe, or something similar to that. And next we have Lynanne from Florida. And Lynanne also has her own channel called Nina's Knots Crochet. And she has done what she's calling the Daffodil Trumpet Bag. I understand it comes from the tulip bag pattern, from what she has said. But she has very nicely combined a number of ice cream yarns from Lion Brand to make this daffodil trumpet bag that she's going to use as like a market bag, and it turned out very well. Next, from North Carolina, we have Josephine. And if you've been watching throughout this this cal from the beginning of the year, Josephine is making granny squares every month, and she is eventually going to put these granny squares together. So for the month of March, here are her granny squares, and I really like it when her flowers come up off the granny square. It's a 3D look. I'm very interested to see what she's going to make with them. Now we have our second Barbara, Barbara B. And she has made the Adelia shawl. And this was a free pattern from EFA. It's no longer a free pattern. Expression Fiber Arts offers them free when they're brand new, and then eventually they become paid patterns. And what I enjoyed about this one is the actual pattern from EFA shows it with, I think it is 3 different colors that go back and forth. Might be 4, but I think it's 3. And I've had this on my to-do list for a while and can't figure out what colors I want to use. And I appreciated that Barbara has used, I believe it's Yarn Bee Rhapsody. Not being American, I'm not familiar with Yarn Bee yarns, but it looks to me like it's a gradient cake, and then she's put the green trim on it. And seeing it as a gradient has given me new incentive to pull out that pattern and just pick one of my gradient cakes to do it. Next, we have the first of my Debbies. This is Debbie P. from Arizona, and she has made a shawl, and the first, she's made 2 shawls. I have two pictures here from her, and the first one, I believe, is by Pamela from Pam's Adoring Crochet. She didn't tell me which shawl was her pattern, and there were, maybe they both are her pattern and she's just done them in different colors. I didn't look at them closely enough, but she had 2 shawl patterns, and so here they are. And then next we have 2 of my own friends here from Chatham. The first is Rose, and this is her first time submitting, and she submitted a shawl, and I believe by looking at it, it is the modern granny, or modern day granny. I think it's a modern granny, but I didn't ask her for verification. And next from Chatham is another friend, and this is Bonnie, and Bonnie said she really didn't have these colors in her stash, so she just got small balls of cotton to make some dishcloths because they aren't her colors, and she didn't want a lot of it sitting around afterwards. So she just made something small this time, but that's perfectly okay, Bonnie. Some people make small things and some people make larger things. Bonnie's made something every month. Then we have Cindy from Costa Rica, and Cindy has submitted quite a few blankets, and I hope I can keep them all straight. I know that this first one I'm showing you is the Celtic Star, a baby blanket, and it's by Bonnie Bay. And the next blanket is the upside down granny blanket. And then we have a mini ripple, which I believe she told me was by Blossom Crochet. Now I'm going to interrupt her blankets with this shawl. I don't like yellow, but I certainly do like this shawl. And it is the Liberty Shawl by Bonnie Bay. Another one I need to put on my to-do list. Looks like it's got a few intricate stitches there, so I think I should give it a try. And then we have some more blankets. Somehow I think I missed one, Cindy. But anyway, here are 3 more blankets. The first one is a corner to corner. The next one is a double down. It's called by Creative Grandma. And then we have another corner to corner. The way it's folded, it looks like it's on the bias, a wrap on the bias, but it's actually a blanket. And she used corner to corner on that. And for some reason, I think there should be another picture, Cindy, and if I find it, I'll put it in here. But somehow I think I've missed or lost one. Then we have Renee, who is from Alabama, and she has done the Glacier Shawlette, and this is a pattern by Karen Hooley. And then we have another Deb, and she's also from Arizona, Deb M. And she has made an asymmetrical shawl or scarf, whatever you might use it for. She said it's all made out of Kaboo and Truboo, so it would be lightweight. She doesn't mention the pattern. And finally, we have Carrie, who again is from Ontario. I should count up how many people from Ontario. And Carrie is very much into amigurumi. So here are a couple of her little, they look like they're Easter animals. Maybe she's getting ready for her Easter consignments. People could put these in their Easter baskets. Somehow I skipped over Denise in my list. And Denise has submitted this beautiful shawl called Turbulent Skies Shawl. And it is a shawl by Spring the Fiber Enthusiast. And it can be found on YouTube. So I want to thank all 20 of you. I really am very, very pleased to receive so many offerings from my viewers, and I know you enjoy watching them. Please feel free to leave comments. Now, I want to point out that before today is over, probably even before you get this video on Saturday, because it's not Saturday right now, I will have put the inspiration picture and the pictures of my objects, finished objects, in Ravelry. I will probably put the finished objects in Instagram as well. I'm going to try to do that. But definitely they will be in Ravelry. And I hope that a lot of you will go to Ravelry and find our group and post your finished objects. Now, somebody told me when they sent me their item, I believe it was Stephanie who sent me the Brindley hair scarf, said she was working on a second project and didn't get it done in time, which is fine, but she said she will post it in the Ravelry thread, I believe, or on Instagram, one of the two. And I appreciate people doing that. Now, I will also, once this video is out, so that won't be till later on Saturday, I will post a project page with the inspiration picture for April. But before I show you the inspiration page for April, I have to do a drawing. And guess what? I forgot to bring my wheel with me. So I'm going to have to go get it. Okay, here we are with the wheel, and we're going to spin this wheel. There is one extra name on here because last month I left somebody off by accident, and I apologize. So I checked very carefully this month. But the person I left off, I said I'd put her in this draw. So I've learned my lesson. I'm going to click it and wait until the very end, and it will announce the winner. Isn't this exciting? And the winner is Rebecca. So congratulations, Rebecca. Rebecca gave us the Japanese knot purse. So now, Rebecca, you need to email me at my email address and give me your mailing address. And I'll get one of those cakes of yarn in the mail to you right away. So congratulations, Rebecca. So now the minute we were all waiting for, and I will first flash it across the screen, and then I keep forgetting, you know, there's so much to remember when you're doing this, but there is something I need to look up before I show you these the flowers. But I'm going to flash across the screen right now the picture that is the inspiration for April, and that is daisies. The daisy stands for blissful pleasure, innocence, new beginnings, purity, and true love. Mostly purity, innocence, blissful pleasure. That's the daisy. Now, I thought the picture was quite different. I'll put it up here beside me so you can keep your eye on that picture when I show you the yarn I'm going to use. But so many of the pictures every month were, you know, pictures in the field or a bouquet. And I thought this artistic painting of the daisies was a little bit unique. And that's why I picked it. And here are the yarns I have selected to represent it. This one is an Expression Fiber Arts. It is a shimmer fingering in the blue hydrangea. And this, I don't know where I got it. It was in my stash. And I think they go together just great. How do you think? Do they look like they go nicely with that picture? A little bit of yellow from, and the blue splashed in the white. So I already have a pattern picked out. I went through patterns twice. Both times I picked out the same pattern. So this is my yarn for the month. And so I hope you enjoy using those colors. Maybe more people will have blues in their stash than yellow and orange. And you're going to be busy for the month of April. And I just want to say that May the 1st is a Monday. So I'll be coming to you on May the 1st with everybody's pictures and the inspiration picture for May, which means that's a Monday. I would like you to submit your finished items, pictures of your finished items to me on April the 28th, which is a Friday. You email me your finished objects, pictures of your finished objects. That's April the 28th in by 9 o'clock in the evening or whatever. It'll be Saturday that I organize all of your pictures to make the video. So April 28th is the deadline to submit your pictures. And once again, here's the inspiration picture, and here's the colors I'm going to use. And congratulations to Rebecca. So until next time, I know that a lot of you follow me all the time, so I'll be back next Thursday with my regular program. And until then, happy hooking.